Welcome back to our minute-to-minute analysis of Matrix Reloaded. Last time, we saw the philosophies of the people of Zion collide, how not everyone agrees or believes in the prophecy or Morpheus. We will be looking over how Morpheus addresses the people of Zion about the incoming threat and the meaning behind his message. We will also be answering questions such as what happened to Tank after the events of the first Matrix movie, and what do the people of Zion eat? Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
We begin with Link returning to his home and being greeted by some unexpected visitors.
God! Oh my God!
His sister-in-law Kaz, wife of Dozer, warns Link that his wife Z is not happy with him. She is not happy that Link joined the Nebuchadnezzar.
You be careful with her, huh?
Don't worry about me, he's the one that's gonna get it.
This scene reveals that although Tank did survive Cypher's attack, he later died.
You think Cass thinks it's fair that I'm here and Dozer's not?
I lost 2 brothers to that ship, Link.
Tank's cause of death was never disclosed in the movies. Link tries to assure Z that the war is about to end as he trusts Morpheus, but she is not convinced.
It won't.
How can you say that to me?
Because of Morpheus. Because of what he's told me. He said that this is it. That it will be over soon.
Link, Morpheus is crazy.
Z's comments about Morpheus confirms that there are people in Zion who think that he is crazy. The original Matrix presented Morpheus as a leader of the resistance, one that is respected by all the red pills. But just like other established story elements, this is deconstructed in Matrix Reloaded. Our perception of Morpheus changed from being an infallible leader to a fanatic believed to be crazy. Next, Kid is running towards the Zion Temple. On the leading path of the temple entrance, there are thousands of pairs of footwear stacked next to each other, filling the left and right side of the walkway. This is an Eastern culture norm. Some religious beliefs consider entering sacred ground with footwear to be disrespectful. As Kid takes off his shoes and enters the temple, there is a group of women servants carrying baskets of bread. Now you may be wondering, wait, there is bread in the real world? How is this possible? This is explained in the Matrix comic, Miller's Tale. Years before the events of the movies, the first inhabitants of Zion traveled the wastelands and found a seed bank that had wheat seeds preserved. With those seeds and a very small surface where sunlight was still filtering through the deadly black clouds, this group created a wheat farm. They cultivated flour and baked bread. However, the wheat farm was eventually found by the machines, and it, along with the farmers, was burned to the ground. Since then, the people of Zion commemorate once a year those people who brought bread to the city. They eat bread in celebration. So how can Zion still have bread after the farm was destroyed? Maybe they found another location to grow the wheat. Or maybe they grow the wheat in the city using UV lights. Anyways, all of this shows that the humans of Zion have their own rituals and traditions. Next, Counselor Haman is giving his opening prayer of remembrance of the fallen. This temple is a massive underground cave dressed to resemble a temple. This may be a reference to the first Christians who worshipped inside catacombs due to persecution. The counselor now gives Morpheus the floor to inform the people of the coming threat.
It is true, what many of you have heard. The machines have gathered an army, and as I speak, that army is drawing nearer to our home.
Although Morpheus is considered crazy by some, all those attending the service at the temple rejoice and celebrate his presence. Most of the captains, as well as the Council of Zion, are worried about the 250,000 sentinels digging their way down to the city, but not Morpheus. This is why Haman allowed him to give his speech. He is the only one that can give a little hope to the people, to not be afraid.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it.
Morpheus reveals in his speech that Zion has been at war against the machines for 100 years.
I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. I remember that for 100 years they have sent their armies to destroy us.
This is important because, as we will soon discover later in the movie, the Matrix occurs in cycles. And when Morpheus revealed the duration of their conflict against the machines, we can calculate that the cycles begin and end approximately every 100 years. With the destruction of Zion, the people of Zion are moved with Morpheus's message, especially with the message he sends to the enemy.
Tonight, let us make them remember. This is Zion, and we are not afraid!
The temple gets loud with the sounds of drums and other thumping instruments, creating a danceable rhythm. It combines with the stomping of people's feet, and a type of reproductive dance or mating dance begins. A ritual of the inhabitants of Zion. Morpheus meets Niobe's gaze.
I remember you used to dance. I remember you were pretty good.
Niobe.
Neo is alone, standing in a corner of the temple. Then he sees Trinity arriving. This scene is quite similar to the nightclub scene in the first movie, where Neo meets Trinity for the first time. The couple leaves the temple together to spend quality time alone, to continue what they started in the elevator, while the thousands of people in the temple dance. This scene foreshadows the choice Neo would make at the end of the movie, that he will choose Trinity over the people of Zion. Neo and Trinity's quality time scene combines with the scene of people dancing in the temple. The fact that the provocative dance scene is happening within a sacred place could indicate that human reproduction and pleasure are considered sacred. After all, it is the only natural way to keep the species going. Neo looks into Trinity's eyes and remembers his nightmare. She knows that something is wrong.
Neo, what is it?
During these few minutes of the film, we learned that Tank had died, some of Zion's rituals and traditions, and that Morpheus does have the admiration of thousands of people who look to him for hope. Zion's culture is a bit primitive and lacking organization. However, it is understandable given the condition they live in. Next time, the Oracle finally makes contact and Smith makes his move. For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.